Welcome to Elbaph. You can't see that I have the green logo on because let's show you. There you go. We're getting to Elbaph, where we're going with One Piece chapter 1188 called Void, where we have a nice color panel that we just showed up on the last thing, where Sanji is reaching out towards either the turtle or that has Nami's attention or the crown on the turtle's head. As a community, we all know for a fact that Sanji has the Supreme King's Conqueror's Haki ability. He has the innate ability and power scaling for him to have that. Now it comes to how he gets it. What will he be the king of in order for him to truly unlock that? Because you have to be a king of something and truly want your captain to be the king as well. Because that will play a part both ways. Now, I still heavily believe that Sanji will take over the role that we gave to Gabon, which is the king of love. With that being said, this should be really interesting because as we get started with the chapter, we get put in a flashback, and they're kind of like on a Denden Mushi or some type of ability to talk through something because these are the bubbles that are like talking with it, and it's a conversation going on talking about hello, come in, hello, what, and it goes, who are you? This voice is asking. And the person goes, Mu, I am Imu. Now, he says, who is this? And responds back. So we know this person is talking to Imu. The person on the other line of that is Joy Boy. Joy Boy is looking out for one of his friends. Imu has a flashback about just that conversation. As he goes, I can tell you're not him. Thou art Joy Boy because Joy Boy is long dead. As he looks over to Luffy and now starts to attack him. He goes right in with a charged up flame fisted or flame covered instead of armament hockey, he's using actually flames wrapped around his entire arm. So the black flames wrapped around Moo's arm as he's going through with this punch. As he goes through the strike, Luffy ducks his head completely, just his head down, like how miss me, and the homies that are all around Imu's arms, the sprites are like, hey, he dodged us, he's below us. Quick, change course. You know how Snake Man does the power ring when it's a do do. It kind of makes that shape right there or form as the fist comes down even more. Which again, we know that Imu has the devil fruit. So is the devil fruit really something that can make Imu create all of these different things? Because we know he has the wings. We know he has the black things behind him, the eyes is keeping in the air, look like the demonic ring. His weapon, of course, he has the devil fruit, which means what? How many devil fruits can the devil fruit, the first devil fruit, actually be? That's really the question. Now the fight goes on and it continues. As you can see right here in the panels, Mu is starting to get serious a little bit. As Mu gets serious, he brings out the sword and tries to start stabbing away at Luffy. Luffy is ducking. Luffy is dodging. He got them hands up, bobbing and weaving, trying to make sure that he gets away from Mu. Imu is not counting himself out because Luffy is throwing them hands right back at him. The only thing is, he's not able to hit him. You hit him before with a sucker punch. You came through and cracked him when he was distracted talking to Loki or when he was battling Loki. Now, that can also mean that Imu, since he's been free, has now had I want to say enough time to truly develop his fighting skills once more since it's been forever since he's probably fought. And he's shooting off these homies out of his hand that he's sprouting up at the homies and shooting them all off. Like, if you guys remember, I want to say this is Whiskey Peak when we had my nose fancy number 5, Mr. 5, who would dig in his nose and shoot off the explosive bullets. This is kind of like the ability that we're seeing right now Imu do, except Imu's doing that with soul sprites. And he's knocking the soul sprites away, and the soul sprites are going through trying to blow up around Luffy. Luffy was like, enough of this. If I get close to it, they're going to detonate. When he does this, he does a gum gottling. As he's doing the jet gottling, he's hitting, let them to explode before they get close to him to cause true damage. Luffy's also like, it's time to open up something new. We're going to go with gum, Genie. This right here took the show. The Genie just came out of nowhere. It kind of has like old man. If you remember I can't remember his name. He was in Wano and he taught Luffy how to use Ryo. He has like that eyebrows with, of course, like the Neptune top half, but he's a genie, of course. On the very end of his forehead, instead of a gem, he seems to have a thing of meat. Pause. He had meat on his forehead. I apologize. Pause. We continue to go on because now that we have the genie out here, Luffy is like, you know what? Let's get a little bit serious. And I'm about to get back right now for what you did to Loki. Loki's on the ground like, whoa, 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 whoa. I am not dead. I may be down. I'm not out. Do not think that about me. Moves. Let's go ahead and change that and start shooting off these sprite homies again, going towards Loki's way. As it's flying towards Loki's way, comes Jinbe. Jinbe is like, you know what? Let me go ahead and just stop this right now with this fisherman karate because he's using a shockwave. The shockwave is going to make sure that these homies detonate before they get too close to cause actual damage. Now, the crew was looking at like, Gear 5 Luffy as a genie. That's really you, huh? Now look, they're not doing that like we are. They're looking at it like, Luffy, is this your homie right here? Well, I'll protect him. Of course, Loki's like, you know what? We're not pals. You know this already. Like, no, I don't have a feeling. I hope that you can join the Shorthead crew, but I know you have some things to attend to on Wano. Haruta can do it. It's going to be good. I hope that we can get Loki up on the team. I really, really do. Back to the battle, of course, we have Genie Luffy really going all out right now. As he's doing this, Jinbei stops, moves, attacks. We see that Imu is just staring off at somebody right there. Somebody on this panel right here, or the next panel, should not be there. Why is that person calling her Princess Shuri? Also, why does the person have a throw? This brings up some memories. As Mu is in thought or trying to collect his thoughts to see who is this person right here truly trying to get in the way of his masterpiece, his artwork in Princess Shuri. He calls her Gunko. As Gunko is right there, he simply moves just in thought like, I can't think of nothing. Luffy tries to snake him. And immediately, Mu just stops him. He stops the punch because now Mu has awakened. He is now up. He is now fresh. It is now go time. When we say it's go time, this means that Mu now has his sword, which kind of looks like Roger's old sword, or that has like the little handle, the hilt with it. That's like I want to say like a fencing hilt, little rounding top with it, and then it comes out with a nice blade with the black flames across it. It's just like, enough of this. Start shooting the sprouts off, shooting them. They're blowing the entire area up. If you gotta remember in Naruto when Pain came there, he did the almighty push and knocked all of Konoha out. This is kind of how it's looking right now for Elbaph. Since everything has been knocked away now and destroyed, it's easy now for Mu to look up and have a nice fight because there's nothing in the way that can now stop and get in the way of Mu getting his hands on a clear line of shot on Luffy. And Luffy's like, from up here, it looks the exact same way for me on my end. I think that I'm going to, and as he takes off, Luffy's going. Imu's just, I now know that I aren't Joy Boy because Joy Boy's not this weak. He stabs Luffy directly in like the sternum, send the blade directly through him. Luffy's just there, a lifeless corpse almost, blood spitting all out of him. He's trying his best to continue on with the match. It does not look like it's going to be that way because I think this is the part right here where we're going to get this very end. The last panel is the picture of Mu holding up his sword and putting it directly through Luffy's body right here. He has stabbed him clean through. He's sitting here. You really are not the Joy Boy. The Joy Boy I know is not this week. It says to be continued. Do we get a break next week? Of course we do. That does not stop what we're going to be have with discussion wise, because I believe that Mu, after making that attack go through, a few things are going to happen. One, when they come back from the break, I'm pretty sure we're going to see some more action from Zoro, of course, Sanji. Probably starting off with Sanji as he's developing his path to become a king. He's probably going to fight a little bit more and then understand I really need to protect. I don't know if Ripley may get injured. From that point on, Sanji's just like, I know my destiny. I want to protect these women and be the king of love. I cannot have anything happening bad to a woman on my mark. Get set, go. And he starts whooping the shit out of Killing him. Of course, on the other side, we have Summers, we have Zoro, which is going to be an easy fight right there. I think Zoro takes this cake and he truly performs with his Supreme King Conqueror Haki oozing out finally for the first time. We can see him truly in control of it because once he found out he had it, it was just go time from there. Enmo was just the icing on the cake to truly take Zoro over to the next level. And I believe that the Wado Uchimanji, that's going to be the sword that he uses the most, or probably the sword that he uses to finish off a lot of people once it becomes a black blade, because the sword he had for the longest, plus it's Tashigi's will behind, not Tashigi, it's Karina's will that we have behind it. I'm really down for it. I'm really excited to see what happens when we come back from the break. Of course, we're going to probably have that be that chapter back. Another chapter going into the final with it. They might get their own chapters or combine the beginning of their fights and the ending of their fights as they both wrap up at the same time. He's, like Zoro said, my comrades over there, your guy's dead. We're going to win this war right here. That's also going to be the point in time right there where we cut back to the very, very last thing. We see Imu power weaken because I don't think Imu's going to be out for this long or away from the flower hall. Because I think like being at that throne room, that flower hall room is something that truly keeps Imu in the eternal life that he has. We may get another flashback to with him and Joy Boy just to see if they were really friends at one point and then things changed a little bit and went from there. But it should be very interesting as we go through with these next few panels or chapters when they come back. It's a lot of thoughts running through their heads. If you guys enjoyed it, I did. I definitely enjoyed the chapter right here. It was a lot of, I kind of had a feeling that we're going to cut back to this right here and finish up, not just from a sucker punch, but because they want to stretch out what happens with let the beat build for Sanji as he becomes the king of love. Very interesting to see how we go from there and move forward. What are some of your thoughts? I actually enjoyed the chapter a lot, just seeing more of the arsenal that we have behind what Mu has been doing. Also, just seeing the big gap that truly exists between the power scaling of Luffy and Imu. Like, for Imu to get rocked like that and we think, oh yeah, it's going to be watch GG's. No, I'm glad that did not happen that way. I'm glad that Mu body is weak for right now. It's still a force to be reckoned with. Let's find out what happens next chapter when we come back from the break and go from there. And I'm excited to see just how Sanji uses his new black flames and truly take the mantle of Black Leg Sanji when we get back from the break. Let's get it. This is 12 bringing you One Piece 1188 review. Peace.